spirit, grateful for the day. All living souls, let's rise, let's conquer. We can do this. Our Father is great, our soul is whole. Father, we're very grateful for this day. Blessings, great souls. This is Spirit and grateful as I pray all of you are grateful for another day of 22,000 breaths. We're going to walk in virtue. We do have a choice, and we choose righteousness. As promised, the free audio book, here is message from me, the author. Blessings, great souls. A message from the author. Greetings to all that possess the breath of life, to kings and queens, fathers and mothers, sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, blessings, great souls. At 64 years of age, I am humbled and honored to share a glimpse of my spiritual walk over the past 40 years. I have been blessed to be married for 28 years and to have fathered 4 beautiful, spiritually successful children who understand they are shepherds, not sheep. My mother, Rebecca, has always been the root of my success. As a young single parent, she cleaned homes to make ends meet. She said, "Son, I am not going to hand you a broom. I will hand you wisdom." Despite only having a 7th grade education, she was the first person in my life to set an example of how I should conduct myself. She told me there would be many people in my life who would offer their counsel, and to remember that when encountering these individuals, eat the meat and throw the bone away. In other words, receive the truth and discard the lies and deceptions. One day in my 20s, my mother out of the blue said to me, "Son, let's go to church in the morning." We had not attended church for quite some time. Even though my mother was a functional alcoholic, her soul spoke to her heart, and she sensed an opportunity for us. But despite whatever hope she had for me attending church, I prepared for Sunday by throwing the party of my life the night before. As the night went on, my thoughts were increasingly filled with what possible excuses I could give my mother for not attending church in the morning. I stayed up all night. I saw the sun rise. At 8 a.m., my phone rang. My mama said, "Son, are we still going to church?" I could hear the hope and excitement in her voice when she asked if we were still going. Instantly, I was wide awake and sober as a judge. I said, "Mama, I'll be there to get you guys in 45 minutes. We went to a little Pentecostal church, and while I don't remember the sermon's focus, sometime during the service, I cried tears of repentance and leaped for joy. The Spirit touched me, and I said, "I now know Jesus." This was my spiritual birth. From that moment forward, my life has been about practicing the principles taught by our Father. I love King Solomon's origin and his entire story. David, the anointed king of Israel, had many wives and concubines. From the heights of his kingdom, David observed a young woman named Bathsheba. As she stood on her balcony, he ordered her to be brought to him, and he slept with her. She conceived and gave birth to a son, who died 7 days after the prophet Nathan rebuked King David. Bathsheba was the wife of Uriah, a general in King David's army. After learning that Bathsheba conceived, King David ordered Uriah to come home thinking that Uriah would sleep with his wife, covering the deception. When the king discovered Uriah did not sleep with Bathsheba, he ordered Uriah back into the battle's hottest part, knowing he would never return. 9 months after the death of her first child, Bathsheba, now married to David, gave birth to a second child named Solomon, the future king of Israel. As king, Solomon would walk through his kingdom praying, and I have adopted Solomon's posture because of his wisdom. The seed of my prayers models the great king. Father, give me the wisdom to walk in and among your people. Let me be cold water to a thirsty soul. Proverbs 25:25. I want to leave people better than I found them. The spirit of being a servant is solid in my existence. I have reaped the rewards and increased my spiritual understanding since practicing this principle. Our example is Christ, who practiced this by being a servant to us all. Philippians 2:7. Throughout my journey, many have said, Spirit, start a church, write a book, offer seminars, create a podcast, do something. You should share your knowledge. Fueled by the belief of many voices who have inspired and encouraged me, saying my words possess hope and life, I write this book with the hope that it stimulates each reader and gives them the ability to look in the mirror and see love, joy, and peace, the kingdom within themselves.
Blessings, great souls. I am that I am. Stand by for part 3 tomorrow.